Sky News Australia has come up with an article with a headline titled, and I quote, "Won't invite them. King Charles shuts down door on
Sandringham
reunion after Harry's explosive comment." Brian, what do you think about that? Before he actually answers, welcome back to our joint segment. Yes, and how do you feel about this? And then now you can answer the question.
I'm happy to be here with you, Winnie, and thank you for always inviting me to be here with you.
Yes.
It's always a pleasure and a joy to be with you on this segment, and I'm enjoying it. As I'm sure many people also at home, in the office, wherever you are, are enjoying this daily segments. Yeah.
Yes.
So to answer your question that you just asked about this topic of reunion and what they're saying, whereby Sky News has a headline saying that King Charles shuts down door on Sandringham reunion after Harry's explosive Australia comments. First of all, this topic of will Harry come and be with Charles at Sandringham is merely a fabrication. I don't think that there are plans for that to even happen. The media, mostly the Murdoch press, UK tabloids, want to pretend that all they care about is seeing some kind of reunion between Harry and Charles, when in truth is, if they truly cared about seeing a reunion, they would not be spreading this kind of division or Charles versus Prince Harry versus Charles, this kind of conflict that they keep on spreading so that they can make a fortune off of creating drama around Prince Harry, around Meghan, around Charles, around William, if they care about reunion. So to me, I'll say this. They don't care about reunion. They're just pretending, and I don't think that there were ever at all any plans for Harry to go to Sandringham. All that were just mere fabrications, created by the media as part of their never-ending. Will Harry be, seeing Charles in the new year? Will Harry see Charles at Christmas? Harry sees Charles at Balmoral or Sandringham. It happens every single time. After this, you'll hear Balmoral. After this topic of Sandringham, you'll see, will Harry go to Scotland to go and see Charles? Will Harry go to Balmoral also to go and see Charles? That is what you'll see. You'll keep on hearing. So it's a never-ending, propaganda which is being put out there to pretend that the media cares about reconciliation and that somehow it's Harry and Meghan who are keeping this from happening when in truth really it is the UK media who are keeping all this from happening. Because even to where Harry and Meghan have gotten even to this date, even whereby they fled the UK, it happened because of the actions of the farm and UK media against them. But you'll hear them, UK media, who made Harry and Meghan flee the UK, they're blaming Harry and Meghan for what they themselves have done. Honestly, Winnie, I can't stand that kind of what they're doing. I just really cannot stand it.
Now, on to our second question. It's a very interesting question. They say that King Charles wasn't happy about Harry's remarks about royal life. Tell us more about that, Brian, and what did he say?
Now, let me just quote Harry's words.
Okay.
That he said, when he was in Australia at the Inter-Ed Summit, if I'm not mistaken, kindly. And I quote, "After my mom died, just before my 13th birthday, I was like, I don't want this job. I don't want this role." Harry told those who were there. "Wherever this is headed, I don't like it. It killed my mom, and I was very much against it." That's what Prince Harry said. He also did credit therapy with helping him to cleanse himself of the past. And apparently, there is someone at the palace and UK media who did not like hearing that.
Yes, the truth.
The truth.
Like hearing
as you said, Winnie, they did not like hearing the truth.
The truth.
Because, time and time again, the media, the tabloid areas, of course, the farm, have been blaming Meghan for leaving the UK. Yet they themselves know Harry has wanted to live for a very, very long time.
Since he was a kid,
for a long time. I even recall videos of him when he was in Afghanistan in a war zone. And when he was there, he was saying how, he generally doesn't like England that much, not because they doesn't like the country or the people,
Yeah.
because of what tabloids write.
Yeah.
And he preferred to stay in a war zone than
Yeah.
even go back to the UK.
Yeah.
Just imagine that you, Winnie, you're in the army,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're choosing to be in a war zone in Afghanistan than being in back at home,
Yeah.
in England.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because of the tabloid media,
Yeah.
what they're doing to you,
Mm-hmm.
all the things that they're writing about you that you don't like, and that makes you want to stay as far away from them as possible. And the sad thing is, despite having that knowledge, despite even being videos or evidence out there of Harry even saying this himself, of how he wanted to live for a long time, they still blame Meghan because Harry fled the UK. But they never ever blame the actions they were doing to Meghan and Prince Harry for Harry and Meghan fleeing the UK. Because one thing I have learned, in all these years of covering, Harry and Meghan, supporting them, is that UK media, they never ever like to be held accountable for their own actions. They much rather blame others for what they have done rather than blame themselves. That's the kind of sickness I have seen and noticed from the UK media. They don't like blaming others for what they have done. They prefer to blame, they prefer to blame, they never blame themselves, that is, for what they have done. They rather blame others. That's the right word. I was mistaken there. They prefer blaming Meghan for Harry leaving, but they never ever want to blame themselves, even though they played a huge part in Harry fleeing the UK. They played a huge part in Meghan fleeing the UK. When Meghan was back in the UK, the things that UK media were doing to her were practically unbearable. I mean, having to watch, for example, even Good Morning Britain every single day in the morning, Piers Morgan there, every day in the morning, going after Meghan, when she was pregnant, before she was pregnant, after that, every single day. It was unbearable to watch as it happened every single day. But suddenly that behavior was condoned. Piers Morgan even is on record demanding that Meghan go back to America. Yet, when she did that, Piers Morgan complained about it. But they never ever blame themselves for being the ones even who demand Harry and Meghan to leave. But actually, they demanded that Meghan leaves, which she did, by the way. And still they won't let her go. Still they blame her for Harry leaving, and Harry himself can't even stand them.
True.
Harry cannot stand the UK tabloid press because of what they've done to him, to Meghan, to his kids, how they've gone after his kids. Their behavior towards him and his family is what has pushed Harry away from them. But rather than accept their faults, rather than accept that they're to blame because Harry wants nothing to do with them, they prefer to blame, it's Meghan's fault. It's Harry's fault. I'm so sick and tired of that narrative. Because it's not, I know in my heart, it is not Harry and Meghan's fault. It is Charles' fault. It is Camilla's fault. It is the fault of the UK media. And I'm so sick and tired of seeing them blaming Meghan for what they themselves have done to Meghan. That is what really, really makes me sick.
And also, I could feel the pain when Harry was saying, like, he actually didn't want this job because I think from a young age he had seen the consequences of everything that the UK tabloids do, and the result of even losing the mom. And so he vowed, I think even from a young age, he vowed, like, my children, my wife, even in the future, will never have to go through this. Yes, and that's why, like, that was the first thing he chose. He chose Meghan to just stay away from all these negativities. And chose, to just have peace of mind because he had seen, I think, there's a trauma
that is inside of him because of what happened to his mother.
Exactly.
And he doesn't want a repeat of the past.
Exactly.
And that tells you how Harry even has grown up as a man.
True.
As a husband, as a father. Because also he did say, for example, that he pleaded with tabloids to leave, Meghan as a boyfriend, as a wife, then of course as a husband, then of course as his wife. He asked tabloids, leave my wife alone. Leave Meghan alone. Every single time. And they never ever left her alone. And then when they are leaving, now it's, Meghan, it's your fault.
It's your fault.
Not their fault for what they were putting Meghan through. Not their fault because Meghan who was supposed to enjoy a pregnancy with even Archie, they spend the time, ensuring that even Meghan can't even enjoy her pregnancy because of how they were attacking her constantly, even for something so simple, something so maternal, even like a natural instinct of traveling your own baby bump. UK media attacked Meghan for it, but then when Kate does it, it's okay. And then they somehow expect Meghan to sit there and put up with every single thing that they throw at her. It's not fair, nor is it right to see what they expect Meghan to put up with, while they themselves do every single thing in their power to protect and cover for Kate Moulton, which of course makes me utterly sick.
I love that. So I have another question. Does the reason that King Charles is giving even make sense that King Charles won't invite Harry and Meghan after their trip to Australia?
King Charles won't invite Harry and Meghan after their trip to Australia. I understand why the man, he won't invite them. I don't even think he had even plans to invite them anyway.
Yeah, true.
But after seeing how successful Harry and Meghan are in Australia, of course, Charles is someone who has a problem with jealousy. Even in Spare, Harry tells us in his book Spare that King Charles, he did not want someone shiny or new coming in, dominating the headlines. And now we've seen with their own two eyes. The world has seen with their own two eyes the kind of strength that Harry and Meghan have, that lies in them being united. That lies in them being a couple. I even say it even in my videos. I say that think about this. If Harry had gone to Australia alone without Meghan, I don't think it would have generated so much headlines as it did because he went with his wife Meghan. Wherever Harry goes, be it Colombia or Nigeria or any other country on this earth, if he travels with Meghan, just know one thing. Number one, you'll see media calling it a road tour. Number two, it will get immense coverage. But sadly, that's not Harry Meghan's fault. Okay, that's basically, the media who decide what to cover, right? And they've chosen to cover Harry and Meghan over William, over Kate Moulton. Even yesterday in this channel here, I spoke about how, on your behalf, of how the BBC News just confirmed that Harry and Meghan are popular, how Harry and Meghan have immense star power. Because of their star power, BBC News acknowledged that they have to cover Harry and Meghan. They're the same ones who will come out and turn out fake polls about Harry and Meghan, saying that they're unpopular, that they're irrelevant. I feel like they do this to stroke the ego of the remaining royals back in the UK, William and Kingston, and they're telling them, William, don't worry, you're popular, we got you, William. But the thing is, it's not really working, because if William was popular even, they focus on him. I mean, he's the future king, right?
True, yes.
But they won't focus on him. They focus on Prince Harry, on Meghan, on what they're doing. They, even in the odds of BBC News, they say that there's so much interest in every single thing Harry and Meghan do. Even despite them not working for the farm, there's still much interest in what Harry and Meghan do. Which shows you that Harry and Meghan's light shines brighter and brighter with each and every single day, despite efforts by the farm to dim Harry and Meghan's light. Their light shines brighter and brighter with each and every single passing day. And I must say, it is what a wonderful thing to behold. How, no matter how someone has tried so hard to destroy you or break you or undermine you or demean you, we are seeing how popular Prince Harry is. We are seeing how popular Meghan is. We are seeing how loved both Harry and Meghan are. And of course, it's incredible, to see and behold the kind of respect Harry and Meghan, of course, garner wherever they go. Be it Australia, be it Colombia, Nigeria, Harry and Meghan are respected worldwide. And of course, it's amazing to see. And even UK media have realized that they have no power over Harry and Meghan. Even Charles himself has no power over Harry and Meghan. And because of that, they're getting even more and more desperate. And they're coming up with all these columns, all these articles saying how Charles won't forgive Harry and Meghan for this, for having a successful tour of Australia. If it wasn't a success, they'll be like, oh
we said it won't be.
They'll be celebrating. They'll be saying, oh yeah, it won't be a success. But the thing is, the opposite has happened. Whereby Harry and Meghan, of course, Australians came out and showed Harry and Meghan love. Even the media in Australia themselves also, they came out and waited for Harry and Meghan at the airport. They don't do that for Charles. So it explains
Yeah.
the jealousy that some people clearly have
Yeah.
towards Harry and Meghan, even people in the farm, because Charles does have a problem with jealousy. And the thing is, I don't understand him, because if you have a son and your son or daughter achieves more than you in life, for example, if you're a doctor and your son becomes, the head of the hospital that that even you work in, as a father, should be proud, should be a joy.
Yes.
Not being jealous of your own son,
Or
for
your own
goodness sake,
son,
because if he wins, you win.
You win.
It's also like how the media try to put Meghan versus Prince Harry, and then say, what is Harry doing when Meghan is doing that? Try to pit them against each other.
Yeah.
I've said myself personally, if Meghan does well,
Harry
does well. If Meghan wins, Harry wins. If Meghan excels, Harry excels. If Harry excels, Meghan does excel as well. If Harry shines, Meghan shines.
And
That's what it's about, really. There's no reason as to why husband and wife should be full of envy towards each other. There's no reason as to why even a father should be jealous of his own son or daughter-in-law, for goodness sake. But sadly, in the farm, things are a bit, different.
And there's something you've mentioned, and it really reminded me of what Meghan said, that even after all these years, she's still showing up, even after all these negative.
She's still here.
That was just a powerful
statement that she made. Despite everything that they've done to her to break her, she's still here, and she'll continue to be here no matter what, and they will not stop her.
And they won't stop her.
I love her.
Yes. So another question. Still, the article goes on to claim that Harry and Meghan will come back, but not at the king's invitation. So what would make them actually go back?
I think they're talking about Invictus events, because also there's the 1 year countdown for the next Invictus Games, and they are saying will happen kind of in July. So that's why it's like July right now. Tablets are talking about July so much that it's now in my head.
Countdown July.
Even I'm waiting for July myself. Because also they somehow anticipate that maybe Meghan will come, because for the 1 year countdown to the next Invictus Games, Meghan has always been by Harry's side. So, but I think it's more speculation because first of all, Meghan only goes with Prince Harry to places which are safe. Okay.
Yes.
If the UK is unsafe for Meghan, if Charles and William are unwilling to give Meghan security, then I don't see her traveling back to the UK with Prince Harry, because Harry has been very, very clear. There is no way he'll bring Meghan or Archie or Lilibet to the UK with him without security. Yes. It's not going to happen. And one thing that I like about Prince Harry is that he has remained adamant about it, because he is not playing games when it comes to his family safety and security. He's someone who's strict with that, and I can only have respect for that, because he's someone who's showing that as a father. He does care for his family, he does care for his wife, does care for his children, and he'll always put them first no matter what happens. And that has earned Harry even more and more respect worldwide. And of course it has earned also Meghan, haters who are jealous of her because of having a husband who's protective and who cares about her so much that I've seen many individuals so bitter and jealous that Meghan has that in her life. They convert what she has because she has a good husband and a good father. And what I can say is that Harry and Meghan must never ever allow anybody to somehow blackmail them or threaten them. They should do what they want to do. And Charles is a failure as a grandfather to Archie, and Lilibet is a failure as a father to Prince Harry. Thankfully, Harry has said even at the Internet Summit that actually said this at that event, the Movember mental health event for men's. He said that as a father, your kid should be your upgrade. Harry said that he wants, of course, his son to even be better than him, to achieve even more things than him. And I do believe that even that's a blessing from Prince Harry to his son Archie, which I'm sure, of course, Archie will be able to achieve even more and more great things, in life. And because for them both, I do believe that they'll keep on prospering, they'll keep on doing well, and no matter what the farm tries to do to dim Harry and Meghan's light, they will not succeed, they will fail, while Harry and Meghan will keep on succeeding, excelling, because Harry and Meghan are deeply loved and of course admired. So thanks so much for having me, Winnie, and of course may God bless you all. And I don't think the Charles even had planned to basically invite Prince Harry and Meghan whatsoever, because the man is full of envy towards Harry and Meghan. And the man even want to give Harry and Meghan security. So all this stuff about, an invite, then a snub, it's just classic tabloid, media reports. So that's just how they behave. That's the propaganda. And I've always said also that Prince Harry and Meghan, the only thing that they need from Charles is security. That's it. Because and they are owed security by Charles. Because Harry is the king's son. He never chose to become the king's son. It happened.
True, it happened.
And he is owed security for the rest of his life. It is sad to see that the son of the king has to fight in court, has to go keep fighting
all
for
things,
security. It's shameful upon Charles. And history will judge Charles very, very poorly for what he has done, for being a failure as a father. And a father should protect his son. Sadly, Charles has failed in that aspect. And you know what? It's his loss, because first of all, not only does he lack the love of a son who actually cares about him, he's also lacking in love from Archie and Lilibet, who clearly have so much love to give. It's his loss.
So, loss unto you, King Charles. So, thank you so much for this joining in and watching our joint segment. Please continue following me on Winnie Gossips. We are currently targeting 1,000 subscribers. And thank you so much for your support. And also, Brian, thank you so much for your support.
Thank you very much, Winnie. God bless you.
God bless you, and see you on the next one.
Bye. And subscribe, please. Don't forget to subscribe, and like and share and subscribe. Bye. And thank you so much for watching this video. I want to say thank you to all of you for all these years of supporting this channel. To Harry and Meghan, we love you, support you 100%. To William, Kate, Camilla, Charles, please stop this smear campaign targeting Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Let Harry and Meghan live, work, and raise their kids in peace. Archie and Lily Badana deserve to have both parents living together, loving each other, and of course growing up in a happy environment together as a family. Stop trying to ruin that. Thank you so much for everything, for your support, and for everything all these years, and may God bless you all. And I hope that you do have a very, very fantastic day full of love, joy, peace, and happiness. Thank you, and goodbye.